Hello, this is Wmpyr. I was asked to share my 2 cents on Matt Larson's Modern Army Combatives program. What do I think about it? And pretty much with all my videos, this is just my own opinion, interpretation, and I developed these opinions for one purpose, and that is to help me do better in a self-defense situation, to understand combat better. It's just a tool. So it's not about me being right or wrong. Is it gonna help me? Yes or no? And I'm presenting it to you for the exact same reason. Not to say this is anything that I say is fact, but is it gonna help you? Yes or no? And that's your decision. It's not I'm right, therefore I'm gonna help you. No, it's about it helped me. So can you make it help you? I hope you can, so I'm going to share it with you. That's all it is. And either you understand that or you don't. Okay. But anyway, here, let me talk about this. So my 2 cents on this. Okay, so first of all, my understanding of what it actually is, because I've had many friends and people that I've known that were in the military here in the United States, and some of them did go through this. They went through the Modern Army Combatives program. They experienced it, and of course I asked them like, what was it like? And this one guy in particular, I remember they had a tournament. They had a Modern Army Combatives program tournament way back when, 2007 or something like that, a nationwide tournament to all branches of the military. And so you could imagine there were hundreds and hundreds of competitors, maybe thousands. And in it, he placed in the top 20. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And he told me that if you go to higher, even higher than that, they changed the rules. So look, when you first start out, it's going to be basic BJJ, except you're not wearing the uniform. But pretty much what you experience at the commercial dojo, it's going to be similar to that. It's just that the military people are not going to do it as much as if you joined a commercial gym. Why? Because they're busy doing jobs, man. This is not their priority. So most of them, that's all they're going to experience is on the ground, starting on your knees and just, doing basic BJJ and some sparring. That's what most of the military people are going to experience. Okay. Now, sometimes they take it a little bit more seriously. It just depends on where you're at, because the military can be so varied. So some places, some units or whatever, they may do it a lot more frequent. They may be super into it, and they may actually do stuff like you see in the background right here on the bottom left picture, where they're actually starting standing. I think most of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to be from the knees, okay, and no striking. But if you're in a unit that's really into it, they might do a little bit more. But it should be basic BJJ, and then at more advanced levels, which most soldiers don't get to go to intermediate or advanced Modern Army Combatives program unless they specifically chose to do it. And why are they doing that? Well, probably because they're going to become an instructor at it. They're in the military. But unless that, they're probably not going to experience that much more than just grappling on the ground. But so at more intermediate is you're going to be doing more like MMA. So on the third photo from the left, you see them like with boxing gloves. So now we're talking about like striking. It's going to be like your basic MMA stuff, basic kickboxing, boxing, and then mix it with the wrestling and the BJJ. And then after that, more advanced, then they start to put in what you're seeing up here in the left, which now it's a training knife, or is that an actual? That could be an actual knife. I'm not sure, but they bring in the training knife, and you start training with that, and then also a stick. So we're talking about like basic Escrima, Filipino martial arts type stuff. So that's advanced level. So their basic is basic BJJ. They start you with that, then they go into basic MMA, and then they go into basic Escrima. So that's my understanding of Modern Army Combatives program. What do I think of that compared to, let's say, Captain Fairbairn's method? Obviously, it's very different. And Captain Fairbairn's method, I said to you guys just in the last video that is an assault style. And Modern Army Combatives program, as you can see, this is a combat sports style. It's based off of combat sports. So they're two different animals in that sense. Captain Fairbairn's method, the assault style, is for a very specific situation because you got to do it when the other guy's unaware. Because the Jeet Kune Do community knows, they use this word, preemptive. You attack them before they know what's up. And that could be a small window of opportunity. Now, fighting like this, where you're grappling or you're boxing, this has a much higher chance of occurring and a much larger window of opportunity to do this. It's just the way it is. So in that sense, this is more likely to happen if you engage with someone. It could easily turn into this, you know. And Captain Fairbairn was trying to avoid this. He didn't want you to fight. He wanted it to be a one-sided annihilation. So Captain Fairbairn's method in a way is talking about a more specific circumstance, so it is more rare. It's harder to happen. And yeah, it's like once you go, it's like throwing the dice. Hopefully it works. And you better go 110%. Don't turn back. Don't look back. Just go, 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 go. That's Captain Fairbairn's assault style. And in fact, he has a book titled All In Fighting. So exactly, you better be all in. Now, with fighting here with Modern Army Combatives program, this is, like I said, it is a much higher percentage when two human beings are going to be engaged. This is what's going to happen, you know. But in reality, a soldier on the battlefield, I don't see how this would really happen, because you should be using your assault rifle, and you got your buddies with you. So if you do end up like grappling someone, why aren't your buddies kicking that guy with their boots? How come they're not using the stock, the butt of the rifle, you know, to smash the guy from the side? Or it doesn't make sense for you to be doing this out there in the field in combat. So then why are they doing this? To me, they're doing this because it toughens you up. You're talking about kids. 18-year-old kids join the army, join the military. They may not have even ever been in a physical fight. So this is like a safe way to experience a physical altercation. So once you know this, you'll be more confident, and you know, when you bust down that door and you charge in with your assault rifle and four other guys, you just get to feel more secure about doing stuff like that, because you know what it's like to be manhandled a little bit and to manhandle someone. You've done that, so you're just going to be more confident in that sense. And I believe Matt Larson talks about that, you know, talks about that kind of thing. So that's the way that really I see this. And if it comes down to a physical altercation that you know you could handle yourself, maybe at the most some guy will tackle you, but then you guys are all going to just gang up on him. You should, because you know there should be at least 5 of you guys there. But or the guy swings at you a little bit, or you know, tries to grab your rifle away and a little bit of grappling happens, but it should, for that split second, you should be able to handle that because of this kind of training. You're not like, oh no, I'm in an actual fight, I'm in an actual physical struggle, I don't know what to do. No, you should be, this will help you with the confidence there, I believe. So that's why they do this, But is it because you're actually going to be fighting like this and setting up a kimura or an Americana or a triangle choke? No, no. Like in the battlefield, it just doesn't make sense. Your shotgun, your firearm, your grenade, that should be taking care of business. I wouldn't even say your knife, really, So, okay. To me, that is the main difference between Captain Fairbairn's method and this. It's not to say that one is better than the other. They're two different things. At the end of the day, it's you as a soldier learning, whether it's Modern Army Combatives Program or Captain Fairbairn's method. Can you make it work for you? And if you do, how you're going to make this work compared to Captain Fairbairn's method is different, like I said. But either way, it's about, can you make it help you? It's just a tool, right? And I could tell you this, right? Me, let's say, I'm out on the street and I'm gonna be in a physical altercation with some guy that I've never met before. So we're both going to be, in a physical combat. I don't know this guy, and it's unarmed. Okay, let's say it's going to be unarmed, right? I could tell you that 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to end up looking more like this, like an MMA fight. All right, because it's natural. I don't want it to be. Okay, I don't want it. The only time I would want it to be is if the other guy has a weapon or he has his buddies. Then, in that situation, I don't want it to be, even if I had my buddies, I don't want it to be a gang war. I don't want it to be a shootout. I don't want it to be a knife fight. I don't want weapons involved. I don't want multiple attackers involved. So it would be smart of me to make it as much as possible, as close as possible to a combat sport match. Challenge the guy, make it a one-on-one. Try to make it into, like I could even say, hey, let's fight like men, whatever that means. And let's just use fists. I could say stuff like that. And if the guy, goes for it, even better. The more limited and the more rules, the better. Okay, that's what I would want to do. But now let's say that's already established. It's already established that I'm going to fight this guy one-on-one without weapons. Okay, so in that case, I don't want to fight him, meaning use combat sports like this. Okay, I'm having trouble explaining this. Okay, I admit, it's kind of tricky. Okay, so if I go up against someone, let's say in my apartment complex, and the guy weighs like 200 pounds, whatever. He's confident, he's a gorilla, he feels tough, and he feels like he could take me out. All right, and we end up fighting for whatever reason, okay? The last thing I want to do is wrestle the guy. Okay, but we are already on the ground, let's say, and we are fighting. So in that situation, I don't want to wrestle him, if you guys understand what that means. If I'm grappling around with a guy that's 200 pounds and he's confident that he could beat me, and he's probably has good reasons for that, even though I might be more skilled, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is, using my skill and my technique and my strategy, is I want to set him up. So I don't want the grappling. I don't want the wrestling. I don't want that, because that takes wear and tear. That's exhausting. If anyone of you have done MMA training, it's exhausting. Whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling, or BJJ, any of that is exhausting. I don't want that. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying do the Fairbairn method. What I am saying is I want as little as possible the fight, which is the struggle. You know, just look at the top photo, second from the right. Okay, that guy. There's a guy that's trying to choke one guy, and the other guy's trying to get out of the choke. Okay, that's a struggle. That's a fight. None of the other photos to me really show that struggle. Maybe the one on the bottom where the girl behind her is setting up for a rear naked choke. She has the seatbelt hold, and she has the hooks in, and the other girl should get out of that. But it doesn't look like she's struggling as much as look at the grimace on the guy's face on that top photo, second from the right. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to trap the guy. I want to bait him. I want to set him up. You could do this in boxing. You could do this in kickboxing, Muay Thai. But most of the time, you're going to be fighting. It's going to be an exchange. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a lot of that, right? But sometimes you're able to make them completely fall into your trap, and it's almost like an effortless, you get the move. So that is what I'm hoping for. It's hard to do it. It is hard to do it. But that's what I want. So I want as least fight as possible. So I hope you can understand. Captain Fairbairn's method is along the same lines of what I'm saying right now. They don't want the fight. They don't want to fight. If you watch his video where he's actually talking, Captain Fairbairn himself is talking, he gives respect to he brought in a boxer, he brought in was it a wrestler? I know for sure a judo guy. He brought in a judo guy and he brought in a boxer. I remember. The boxer I think was missing teeth. So he brought in the boxer, he brought in the judo guy. I thought he also brought in a wrestler. I could be wrong. But he for sure brought in those two guys. He gave them respect. He said, you don't want to play their game. So he gave respect to combat sports. But he's also saying, we don't want to do that. And that's not what we are about. If you play judo against, a judo guy or someone that's just a better athlete or bigger, stronger than you, they're going to win. They got the advantage. And same with boxing. They're going to win. So if you have any chance, it's to not play their game, And so I hope you guys can understand that. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean, you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. You should do this and make yourself the best boxer that you can be, the best judo guy or the best wrestler or the best MMA fighter or the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy that you can be. You should try to do that as much as you can, But just because the fighting percentage, if you are in a physical confrontation, it is a high percentage, and also really it's to toughen you up and give you the confidence that you could wrestle someone a little bit. You can get roughed up a little bit, and you're fine. You could just laugh about it and say, okay, enough of that. Okay, are you cool now? Are you done with the road rage? So hopefully you could just settle it like that without going to guns, which it's completely silly to die over road rage, So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for viewing and take care, folks.